Welcome to the Art of Likeability, where you learn the secrets to becoming more likable in all areas of your life. Increasing your likability improves your relationships, and improved relationships increases your success in all areas of your life. Let's jump in with your host, Arel Moody.
What's going on, my Art of Likeability family? Arel Moody here, host of the Art of Likeability podcast. I'm looking forward to sharing some information with you today that will make you more likable so you can build better relationships, have greater success, more happiness. And listen, if you ain't about success and happiness, why have you hit the play button? I think you hit the play button because you're all about that awesome sauce. That's what I like to call likability, awesome sauce. Anyway, I am excited to talk about a very cool, important subject. It's actually so important to me that it literally has revolutionized my life. So here's what it is. And this is going to be, this one, if you do it, your life will change so much for the positive. But for most people, they can't do it. They just can't. Like emotionally, they're too connected to what I'm about to say. To not do it, it's too much for most people, and most people are average people. By definition, the word average is the most people. So if you want to be average and you want to be just like everybody else and you have no aspirations of greatness, continue to do what I'm about to talk about. But if you do want greatness, if you do want to be different, separate yourself, be part of an elite class, I really recommend you take on what I'm about to say. So it's very simple. Do not gossip. Do not talk about people behind their back. Do not inquire about the downfall of someone. Do not share ideas. And don't say phrases like, well, I'm not one to gossip, but you're about to gossip. Or if you say, well, if someone asks, you didn't hear it from me, but you're about to gossip. Like, the thing is, when you hear something juicy about someone or something, it is so difficult to not want to share it. There's actually evolutionary traits. If you read the magazine, The Scientific American Mind, there's a fascinating article that they published about gossip and our need to gossip and how it served an evolutionary benefit back in the day, but today it doesn't serve that same benefit. So the challenge is, it's so hard to not gossip. But here's what's interesting. If you talk to me about someone behind my back, why should I assume that you won't talk about me to someone else? I want you to think about this for a second. You talk badly about me. You talk badly about someone else to me. And then I'm supposed to sit here and think you are not the type of person to talk badly about me behind my back? Whenever someone starts gossiping and I hear it, a few things happen. The first thing is I actually remove myself from the conversation. I either politely change the subject, or I ask the person to say, hey, don't share that with me, please. There's a phrase called lashon hara. If you don't know that phrase, it's a Hebrew phrase that is actually a really big tenet in my personal belief system, which is Judaism. And whether you're Jewish or not doesn't matter. But, I say the word please. If it's lashon hara, I don't want to hear it. So anyone who knows what that is knows what that means. But the point is, here's why it's so devastating, this idea of gossiping and talking about people behind their back, because when I hear someone do it, I try to remove myself from the conversation. But then what also happens is I immediately in my head categorize this person as someone I can't really trust. Now, a lot of people say, no, but they would never say that about me. They're talking about someone else. Do you really think that's true? Honestly, you don't think that tides could ever possibly turn? You don't think that maybe they're being nice to you to your face, but you have no idea what they're talking about behind your back? As soon as people start, I notice patterns that they gossip or want to gossip, I have to eliminate them from my interpersonal life because I don't know what they're willing to say. I don't know what they're going to do with private, sensitive information. And it's a shame because a lot of people think, well, that's not fair. Everyone does it. I don't choose to live that life. That's an average life. And I am doing my best to aspire for greatness. And I hope that you do the same. The challenge is if you hear something really juicy, like this person cheated on someone, or did you see this person's Facebook post about this person? And it's like, but it's common knowledge. I mean, it's out there in the public. What's the big deal if I do it? It is a big deal. because those words you can't ever take them back. There's this great story that I want to share with you about someone who hurt someone very badly with their words, and they felt so bad about it, and they were talking bad about them, and it hurt them, and they found out, and the person found out they were talking badly and got very embarrassed that they even spoke so badly about this person, and they were trying to get them to forgive them, but the person who was offended wouldn't forgive them. So this person who made the offense goes to a wise teacher and says, I want to make things right with this person I offended with my words. How do I do it? The teacher says, well, what happened? They said, well, I was talking about them behind their back and saying some sensitive things about their life I shouldn't probably have said, and now the person's mad at me. And they said, I can help you with the situation. He goes, great, what do I do? And they said, meet me on the roof in 30 minutes and please bring a pillow. And the person's like, all right, whatever. So the person takes the invitation and meets this teacher on the roof, and the teacher gets the pillow and takes out a knife and stabs the pillow. And it was a feather pillow, and they fluff the feathers over the roof, and the feathers fly off the roof and float all over the place. And then a gust of wind comes and blows the feathers into yonder. And then the teacher says, here's how you make things right. I want you to go downstairs now and gather up every single last feather that was in this pillow. Well, the person goes, that's unfair. I can't do that. I mean, the feathers are all over the place. The wind can't, you can't expect me to get that. And then the teacher said, when you talk badly about someone, when you gossip about them, when you say things that are sensitive information that shouldn't have been shared, once the words leave your mouth and they're heard by someone else, that person can share it with someone else. And that person can share it with someone else. It is impossible for you to make right or stop gossip that you start or that you're a part of, because any thought that you have that's in your mind but not spoken, you have 100% domain over. But any thought that's in your mind that you speak, you have 0% domain over it. It now belongs to everyone else. Everyone else can share it. Everyone else can own it. Everyone else can take whatever meaning they want from that. So if you don't talk badly about people, if you don't gossip or participate in it, it can never come back to haunt you. It can you never have to worry about feathers, collecting feathers that are all over the place, because everything is in a domain of control on your part. And here's the thing that's crazy. The higher up you go in life, the more successful you become, the more wealthy people you interact with, the more powerful people you interact with, they all know this trait. They're not going to sit there and talk about idle chatter. The truth is, people who are doing things of significance cannot be bogged down by what's in OK Magazine or People Magazine. And these are the magazines that when you're at the grocery store, if you're at the checkout item, they're the magazines that are right there, and it's like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are having marital problems. Is Jennifer Aniston back in the subject? It's all these random things about people that have no effect in your life, and they're so fascinating, and you want to open them up and flip through them and read about them. And I would invite you to stop it. I mean, it's something that it doesn't serve you, and it just makes you think poorly about someone. Now, here's the other thing that's fascinating about this idea of talking badly about someone. Once you talk badly about someone, the person you spoke badly about will always be tainted in the mind of the person you spoke to. So if I say, hey, listen, just so you know, John, that man cheated on his girlfriend and he abused her. So I'm not saying you heard that from me, but it blew my mind when I heard it. So I'm not going to do any business with him. And then let's just assume that John never did cheat on his girlfriend and never actually abused his girlfriend in any way. But the person you said that to, they have this image in their mind that John is this horrible person. So unless you know something to be factual, to be concrete, and the reason you are sharing it is not to gossip or to just share a juicy bit of information, but the point you're sharing it is to help someone, that's important. So for example, if you have dealt with someone before and they stole money from you, and then a friend of yours wants to deal with that same person in the exact same situation, it's not gossip to tell that person that you had an experience where that person actually stole money from you, because it's factual and it's an experience that you've had. That is actually helping someone make a good decision. But if you feel like someone that you know you heard through the grapevine through a friend of a friend, and you know that friend of a friend to be truth, and they said this bad thing about this person, it's best that you don't talk about it, or you introduce that person to that person, the other person who had the experience, and have them have a personal conversation. Because when we start doing grapevine conversations, heard this person said it through this person, through that person, things get diluted and things get messed up. So I would invite you to remove gossip from your life. to stop caring about what's happening in other people's personal lives and private lives and start caring about what's happening in your life. And if you find yourself in a conversation where people are gossiping, remove yourself from it. And it's going to be very difficult because who doesn't want to hear gossip? It's juicy. It's exciting. It's like, this person did what with who? What? But it actually, I truly believe it deteriorates your soul and it makes you less of a trustworthy person and people don't want to be around you. I mean, everyone knows who the office gossip is. And you don't want to be that person. That person thinks they have a bunch of friends and a bunch of people that likes them because everyone likes listening to them. But the truth is, no one really trusts that person. Nobody really wants to get close with that person. And the more you do it, the more you elevate yourself and the clearer your mind becomes and the more thoughtful you become and the more caring you become and the more happier I believe you will 100% come. So I want you to stop gossiping. Stop talking about people behind their back. If you hear a conversation and it's about someone, remove yourself from it. I know it's going to be difficult and I know you're going to be like, oh, no harm, no foul. There is a harm, there is a foul. So do your best to elevate yourself above it and do what most people won't so you can have what most people don't. Love to hear how this works for you. Seriously, I'm so curious because this has revolutionized my life and I'd love to hear how it's revolutionized yours. So feel free to send me a tweet or a Facebook message or a LinkedIn message. My name's Arel Moody. You can go on our inner circle via email. If you go to artoflikability.com, that's our website. You can join our email newsletter and let me know what you think. Email me info@artoflikability.com. I'd love to know what your thoughts are and how this has worked. If it's been challenging, if it's been good, give it a shot and see how it goes for you. And of course, please comment and rate the iTunes or Stitcher rating system and you know, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. If you randomly came across this or if you heard me being interviewed by someone else and this is the first podcast you're checking out, there's great stuff here to help you. Now, if this is the first podcast you heard, you might be like, I don't want to listen to this dude, but he's taking away all the things I love. But I'm only doing it because I love you and I care about you and I like you and I want you to be successful. So I hope that you stop gossiping and become more trustworthy and have more people like you and you like more people and you build your likability and you feel more successful and you feel more happiness and you have all this good stuff happen. And if you don't want good stuff and happiness and success and to be great, why are you here, baby? You listening to the wrong podcast. I'm going to check you out later. Hit me up. Ask me any question you want. Love to hear your ideas for new show topics, of course. And I'm sending you a big old high five. You are awesome.
Thanks for listening to The Art of Likability. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast for more awesome info on how you can improve your likability and improve your life. Until next time, remember, you are awesome!